why independent women end up single. Why independent women end up single. I do have a video, but before I play the video, put up a couple slides. It says an incorrect assumption is that high earning women automatically disrespect men because they are not financially dependent on them, so more likely to leave them. But here is what is actually happening. When a man has removed the duty of providing for the woman the best way he can and is reducing his usual efforts simply because he believes she is self sufficient, she no longer sees him as having any power or dominance. Instead, he becomes an added burden. Divorce is a dynamic. It requires two people to create a dynamic that is dysfunctional. What happens to men who are with women who earn more than them, they automatically give less financial investment. They are more comfortable with allowing her to take them to the dual burden of household chores as well as financial burdens. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip and then we can go ahead and talk about it.
Women are the devil. They're more likely to leave compared to a woman who's financially dependent on a man. So those things I'm not saying are not true. Here's the part of the puzzle they miss. A lot of men, what they do is they take their foot off the pedal when they're with a high earning woman. If, because she's earning, you are now not investing in her, but that same man would go to another broke woman and give her the world, then she's getting a low end of the deal. Like usually women still take majority of domestic chores, especially when it comes to children. She's going to have a dual burden. The woman that's a good woman who's earning and doing her own things and looking after you, she doesn't ask, but doesn't mean she doesn't deserve you. But if you maintain your masculinity and you maintain the same level of treatment you would give her if she was broke, rather than relying on her income, you can maintain that relationship really well. But men treat women who earn better as men. They treat them like men. Treat a woman like a man, she sees you like a girl. She will no longer be sexually interested in you.
I'm just going to run it back one more time.
Woman who's financially high earning women are the devil. They're more likely to leave compared to a woman who's financially dependent on a man. So those things I'm not saying are not true. Here's the part of the puzzle they miss. A lot of men, what they do is they take their foot off the pedal when they're with a high earning woman. If, because she's earning, you are now not investing in her, but that same man would go to another broke woman and give her the world, then she's getting a low end of the deal. Like usually women still take majority of domestic chores, especially when it comes to children. She's going to have a dual burden. The woman that's a good woman who's earning and doing her own things and looking after you, she doesn't ask, but doesn't mean she doesn't deserve you. But if you maintain your masculinity and you maintain the same level of treatment you would give her if she was broke, rather than relying on her income, you can maintain that relationship really well. But men treat women who earn better as men. They treat them like men. Treat a woman like a man, she sees you like a girl. She will no longer be sexually interested in you.
What the fuck is this woman talking about?
Whoever wrote that meme, it was a woman, guaranteed, and this woman is on one. She's tripping. I hate when people bring up discussions and talk about 0.05% of a pool. Broke women don't even look. Rich women don't even look broke men's way. That right there just negates the whole conversation. So she's just talking just to be talking. But I'll let y'all got it. Y'all,
I don't necessarily agree with that, Shannon.
Remember, go ahead.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I kind of understand where she's coming from, and why I understand where she's coming from is because I've seen growing up, I've seen a lot of situations, even in my family, with men being married to women that make more money than them, and I've dated women that have made more money than me, and it's never actually been a problem in the relationships where I've dated the woman, because whether you're making more bread than me or not, I'm still gonna treat you like a woman. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna treat you like a lady. And so when you're with me, you're gonna feel like a lady. I just feel as though, so I get her point to an extent, right? Because a lot of dudes, and granted, a lot of women are acting like men, right? So if you're around a woman who's very independent and she's like a man, it's very easy for you to not see her in that feminine way, and then very easy for you to neglect treating her in a certain feminine way, right? And so I could see how a woman in that position might not be getting treated in a feminine way, and therefore she doesn't feel feminine and doesn't reciprocate that same femininity. So I can kind of understand what she's talking about in that regard. Like, we always like to say that, you know, women don't look like a dude who makes less than them way, but that is not a fact. Like I keep hearing that in like on the YouTube talking spaces, but that's the farthest thing from the truth. Like that is not true. Like if a woman like you, it don't matter if you're making more money, it don't matter if you're making less money. If she likes you, and that's just what it is. And I feel like a lot of what's going to determine if she likes you is you making her feel like a woman, whatever that might be for that woman, right? Some women, what makes them feel like a lady is having someone fit the bill. For some women, it's not like that. For some women, it's just all about, hey, are you listening to me? Are you attentive to my emotions? Are you attentive to my feelings? Are you showing me affection? Are you giving me your time? Like I've literally had conversations like this with women who are earning more than me, and they've literally said to me like, yo, I've dated guys earning more than you earn, but I didn't feel like a lady with them. They didn't pay attention to me. They didn't know how to talk to me. They didn't know how to touch me. And I feel like we put so much focus on the finance that we forget that there's a lot of other things that make a woman feel like a woman. So that's my take on it.
So, Cloud, here's the thing. And I'm surprised you're saying this, because the thing is, once again, we're conflating getting fucked versus getting married to. And so I don't want to mix up the women who has attention from broke dudes and is getting fucked by broke dudes versus guys who's in a serious relationship and or getting married or married to a woman that makes more money than him. What we're doing is we're saying, oh, you know what? Because I make more money than him, he's treating me like the man of the house. That's not the case. That's typically not the case, broke or otherwise, for men. What's happening is, and what she tried to say is that, oh, you know, women that make more money, or at least in that meme, women take on a masculine role when they take. But that's the case. That's what women do. And I'm not knocking them for it, because that's the way the world conditioned women to be masculine and go out for the role that she has to strive to get that VP position. And she's battling in a field where other men that she's fighting against to get the promotion in the job and whatnot. And she's a supervisor and has, you know, 40 people up under her that she has to maintain. And I understand that. And we talk about when she gets home, does she turn that shit off? That's the argument. And that's the prevailing argument. It's not, well, you know what? I became feminine, but my man won't let me be.
You're right.
That's not, don't nobody make that fucking argument. But that's what they're talking about in this video, that men are not allowing me to be a feminine woman because I make more money than him. So he's just being relaxed. That's not the argument.
I think you're right, Shannon. Like, I do believe, again, I agree automatically, right? A lot of times, a lot of successful independent women do take on a masculine role. But I think what she's saying, a lot of the dudes with those women take on a feminine role. And I've definitely seen that. I can't sit here and act like I've never seen a dude who's with a woman who's making more money than play the bitch role. Like, that's the role they be playing.
What is the feminine role in that dynamic?
Like, I'm talking about little things. Like, for example, I've seen some high earning women be with they dude, and like dude won't even do little things like hold the door, or let's say they traveling, he won't grab a heavy bag for her. Like, I've seen dudes treat women as though they're just like men just because they're making a bag. You get what I'm saying?
And
so that's all I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm simply saying that percentage is so, like I tell people, there's three types of relationships where there's a man that's in charge and a woman that's following him. There's two people in charge, and then there's a dude that's following his woman. The one that works out is where the man is in charge. Other one typically doesn't last long, but it does happen. I get that, but it's such a small percentage that why independent end up single. I know they start off like that, but her respect for him is going to be low. If this guy is not holding the door, is it a situation? What's more prevailing? A guy that doesn't open the door because he wants her to be the man, or a woman that don't want no man to open the door for her because she's the boss?
The latter, obviously.
The latter, and that's what's the argument. But people throw in these rare, off the wall situations to try to make a point. In the argument is, no, listen. Whether your man makes more or less than you, if you guys are in love, he still needs to be the man. And if he tries to be the man with a woman that is making the bag, that don't need to make no decisions with him, she's paying some of the bills or all of the bills, or she wants to make a decision that he doesn't want to make, but she's like, fuck that, I'm okay. We see the meme, we see all the little skits and little shit videos and stuff on the internet. The woman, the old babe, what was the most recent one where the woman was getting married and she was like, oh babe, we didn't talk about that in counseling. You know, and emasculated him in front of the whole family. That's what we hear. That's what we deal with. We rarely deal with the guy that's like, well, man, my woman is the man. My woman, she got shit under control, so I don't even got to really do much. That's not the case. And that's the only